Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Mindset Monday, or it could be morning or evening, depending on where you're watching from. It is another great episode this week. I took a couple of weeks off, had some family stuff to attend to, and I'm so excited to be back today because I have a guest with me today that I'm super, super excited to interview and talk with and just get to know a little bit better. But first, I just want to tell you a little bit about Game Plan U. If you are not aware of us at this point, Game Plan U is an organization of startups, executives in residence, and career seekers coming together to build and grow and learn. We have founders who are starting their sports technology, innovation, wellness, health, technology, innovative startups, and they come into our community. Sometimes they're looking for deal flow, but most of the time they're looking to get some support, to validate their concept, to get some business development expertise, to work on their pitch. We help them grow and get to that next phase so that they can eventually, make it in the world, in the industry. And sometimes that's through deal flow. Most of the time it's through a lot of expertise, a lot of polishing, a lot of support. Our executives and residents are people who have been there, done that. They know how to run a business. They know how to exit. They know how to perfect their craft. And they are leaders in the community, in their field. They are experts, and they help our founders develop their business and really hone their craft. They are the lifeline of the Game Plan U community. And we also have our career seekers, or people who are pivoting from one career to another, people just out of college who are looking to gain experience to build their portfolio or their resume. We have them come on and support our founders with one-off projects. They also get to network and really do informational interviewing and learn how to be professionals and how to get into this technology world that has us all kind of spinning our wheels at times, but really excited at the same time because there's so much innovation and so much available. This podcast is part of that Game Plan U community. I bring on interesting people in the world, in the industry, who are being successful, doing amazing things out in the world, and who have had pivots and careers, and who have really, been successful not because things were handed to them, but successful because they are sharp, they've stayed in the game, they have stayed focused, and they have worked through challenges or struggles, which we all do. And that's why I'm so excited about my guest today, because I have Dr. Susan Lovelle, who is the founder and CEO of Premier Wellness. She is the Thrive Architect, and she will explain exactly what that is today. But she helps women of all ages really work through fatigue and hormone issues. She is an amazing person. She's inspirational. And without further ado, I am going to bring her on today. Good afternoon, Dr. Lovelle. How are you?
Hello, thank you so much. As we were just sitting there, the whole internet just went down, so I had to
Oh
rapidly
no.
get onto my phone.
Oh
So,
gosh. And you did it. Look at you,
and I did
you
it.
do look,
Boom.
and that's what we talk about when I say the people I bring on here know how to do things and get things done no matter what, right?
Uh,
Well, thank you so much for being here today. I greatly
thank you.
appreciate your time. I found you on LinkedIn. You had sent a video out. I guess you posted the video, and I watched it, and I was just impressed with what you did. I checked out your website and then set up a meeting with you, and the rest is history. I would love for you to tell our viewers what it is that you do and how you got to kind of your story of how you got to where you are, those really diving into those 6 inches between your ears, right? Of all the stuff that goes on that allowed you to get to where you are today.
Absolutely. So, how far back should I go? Because the story really started when I was 6. I don't know if you want to.
Listen, if you've got the story down and it all makes sense, I'm ready for it.
Oh, I do say though that at 6 years old, I knew I wanted to be a physician because I wanted to help people. I wanted to help them feel better. That was
Mm,
always primary. But then I went into dancing for about 17 years. I was a professional ballet dancer, traveling the world, having lots and lots of fun
yeah.
until it wasn't fun.
Mm,
And then I had the opportunity to go back to medical school. And I was a plastic surgeon for 22 years.
wow.
Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
all of that outside in kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then I had my own health issues, and the way that I got better wasn't through traditional medicine. It was actually through what I do now, which
Mm.
is a more holistic branch of medicine called functional. And now what I do is help the same type of women, primarily who were doing what I did, kind of pushing themselves on caffeine. I say caffeine, wine, and willpower. That's how you're surviving. And until you can't do it anymore. And then you've got to find a way that
Mhm.
actually works. And that's what I help people do at this point.
I love it, and what an amazing journey too, right? You were in the world of dance, which I dance not near the level where you dance. So let's just get that straight first. But I know the pressure that's involved in that industry and in that world, and the perfection that is also involved, and the way that you push your body and expect certain things from it, as I imagine a professional athlete of any sport does. And being able to pay attention to your body, to know your body, and understand what limits your body has, but also being able to push yourself to your best, I think is something that a lot of people can relate to, and I imagine has helped to inform the work that you do today. Is that accurate?
Oh, absolutely. Because it is like, just as you said, it's such a fine line
Mm,
between peak performance and then just blowout or, a burnout or whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
And so when you start to learn what your body wants and needs and giving it to it, then you get to that point where it's easy. Then you become in the zone, which I know all athletes tend to know about.
Yeah.
And that's why this year, actually, and I wanted to share that with you as well, we're kind of broadening our approach to not just be working with women, professional women, business women, but also the other branch is athletes. So we're going
Mm.
to be looking for that as well.
Awesome. That's great.
Mhm.
Awesome. Y- You know, can you talk a little bit about why it is you think that people stop paying attention? It's almost like we get disconnected from our bodies. It's like we're cut off from the neck down. And could you speak to that a little bit about what you think happens within our brains that just either puts us on overdrive or really makes us kind of not pay attention to our wellness the way that we should?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest issues is that we put ourselves or put doctors and other providers in the role of managing everything for us. We
Mm,
think that they have all of the information, they have all of the knowledge, and therefore whatever they say goes, and therefore we don't have to think about it. It's
yeah.
a lot simpler.
Wow.
And that's how we get into that have an ill, take a pill kind of paradigm. And it's not until we realize that we are the ones who have that control, or should be the ones who have that control, that we start looking at it. Then step two is learning how to do that. And that's the other important part.
Yeah. And I imagine there's a lot of steps in between, but somewhere in one of those steps is finding the willpower and the motivation to stay consistent with our well-being. Because I think a lot of people, they have one day and they think, this is
I
great.
did it.
I'm going to do this, right? I did those 50 push-ups this morning, or maybe five, and I'll do it again tomorrow, but we lose that momentum. And how do you, when you're working with your clients, with your patients, with athletes, how do you help them to kind of find their focus and stay consistent in their well-being?
Excellent question. We start by having them really understand and focus on what they want to achieve.
Mm,
Because and then you've always got to have that in front of you because it's going to get hard.
yeah.
That's one thing I say. It is always going to get hard. And I tell the story of my son when he was about 4 or 5 and he wanted to take karate. And so we found a karate school. He loved it. But this school, you had to pay for the entire thing, white belt all the way to black belt. Okay.
Yeah.
So we did. And he gets about 2 belts in and decides he doesn't want to do anymore. He's done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all I remember is for months I would drag him into the car, drag him to class, throw him out on the field,
Yeah.
and or out on the floor mat, and eventually he got his next belt, and then it was fun again, and then he eventually got his black belt. So
Awesome.
the whole point of that is, at some point for everyone, it's going to get hard. It's going to get hard. And you just need someone to help you over that hump to
Hmm.
when it's not hard anymore. And then you succeed.
Yeah, a funny side story. I took my son for karate as well, and he had 3 classes at 6 years old and told me he knows karate now and doesn't need anymore. So I thought, okay, I think we're done here. Couldn't get him to go back. Luckily, we only had to pay for that one, you
Right.
know, 6 week session or whatever it was. So, um, but that I think that's so important when you just think about the ups and downs of life and the ups and downs of our own energy, right? What's coming at us and what we're kind of feeding ourselves with on every level, not just nutritionally, but with technology and media and relationships. I think all of those things contribute to this kind of roller coaster of life, right? And we just want it to be here so we can anticipate everything and control it and be fine with it. But life doesn't present that way ever. And I think we're at a disadvantage in some ways because we haven't been taught as children kind of how to do all that, how to stay focused, how to stay kind of motivated and directed towards our own wellness. And I don't think we've either uh, been given the value of kind of that mental toughness, and it seems like you instilled that with your son, that you helped him stay consistent, right, with that practice.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So you call yourself the Thrive Architect, and I want to talk a little bit about that. What does that mean? If someone comes to you, walk me through their experience. What do they get when they work with the Thrive Architect? Because it sounds
Ex-
amazing. I want a Thrive Architect.
there it is. There it is. And it's funny. One of the experiences that we went through was trying to figure out what exactly I do for people. So when I first made that switch from plastic surgery to holistic health, in plastics, you say you're a plastic surgeon, everyone knows exactly what you do. There's
Yeah,
no ifs, ands, or buts.
yeah,
But when you say you're a holistic provider, it's like, what? What?
yeah,
What good is that going to do for me?
yeah.
And so I went through all of these things of what I do and how I do it. And, it just made people more confused. But when
Mhm.
I said, I'm the Thrive Architect, I'm going to help you design your own personal way to thriving, then people are like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, we got
yeah.
that. So essentially, what we do, and it really depends on how deep someone wants to get into their own health. And I say that because we look at lab work usually. It's some of the standard lab work that you get every year from your docs. We expand it out, but then we also can do specialty testing. So looking at your gut health, looking at food sensitivities, looking at hormones, which is huge with
Huge,
women. If
huge.
your hormones aren't working right, you're not working right. So,
Absolutely.
we can look at all of those things, but the most important thing is that we then put that into a specific plan for you.
Mm,
So it's not just a matter of saying, okay, you want to lose 10 pounds here, go on this diet. It's
yeah.
more what's going on with you? What are the emotional things? What are the stress levels? What are the sleep? Is looking at everything and then
Mm,
coming up with something specifically for you.
I love that. What a great holistic plan. Like as you said before, that sounds like it's just so personally tailored that I imagine people who walk through your process, through your system, probably feel very well supported because you're identifying their specific issues, and it's not just this kind of bucket of, oh, here, try this, but this is based on your blood level, your blood type, your energy level, your sleep, your hormones, your enzymes, whatever it is. And here's what we recommend for you specifically.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why people get better so much faster, why they heal and progress so much faster.
Right, because I imagine, if you're taking a bunch of vitamin C, trying to make yourself more healthy, and you don't need any more vitamin C, it's not going to do anything greatly to elevate your health. But if you're not getting the things that you need, then that is going to great. So it doesn't matter all the good things you're doing if you're not doing the right things for what you have wrong with you.
Exactly. And the right things for you. Because one of the things that
Yes.
a lot of the women we work with don't realize is that even if something is traditionally a good food,
Yeah.
say salmon, salmon is
Mm,
considered to be a great food, lots of omega 3s. Well, what if you're sensitive to salmon? Then it's going to make your body inflamed, and it just starts this whole cycle. So it
right.
really is knowing not just what's good, but what's good for you.
Yeah, and so many people don't even stop to think about those things. So
Mhm.
it sounds like a very mindful and thoughtful approach to wellness.
Thank you.
Comprehensive. I love it. So let me ask you this. If I moved over kind of to the business side of things,
Mhm.
how difficult was the transition from being a plastic surgeon to this Thrive architect? Were there moments where you were thinking, I don't know if this is going to work. I should have stayed in plastic surgery?
Never, never. How about last week? No, I'm
Right,
teasing.
right, right.
Yeah, especially that first year, of transition, because I came in with the mindset that, oh, I'm going to hang my shingle out. Everyone's going to know exactly what I need, what I do, and what I do, and what I can do. And it wasn't that way. So that first year was a struggle. It really was kind of difficult
Yeah.
until I found my footing and understood who the people that I really wanted to work with, because I don't want to work with everyone. That's not what I'm looking for, and that's not good for everyone else either. But it was not only that; it was how I wanted to provide this new healthcare.
Mhm.
And it's funny, with last year, with this shutdown and the pandemic, it went from being more of a one-on-one and seeing people in person to 99% virtual. And it made me realize how much broader an audience we could reach by changing and pivoting how we were presenting things.
That's awesome. And I find that a lot of people have said that in terms of services of the nature you speak about, that they found this whole other population and demographic of people that they could help that they never even thought possible before, which I think is, one of the, if we can find any blessings of this pandemic, I think people got super creative about how to reach out and connect out of necessity. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
I love what you were talking about too, because you said I knew what I wanted to do, right? So that's your why, that's your passion of helping
Mhm.
people and wanting to make a difference in people's lives. But you also talked about how you wanted to do it. So when I think about a why, like why am I doing this? I don't think of it as just, oh, I'm passionate. I'm going to put my shingle out, like you said, and everyone's going to come. But it's also knowing what you want your outcomes to be and knowing the people that you want to help, because that's how you tailor how you do what you do. If you know what the outcomes are and what your customers needs are, then that's how you tailor, and that's where you put the energy or the passion that you have into your processes and your protocol. And it sounds like that's exactly what you did, with a little bit of up
Ups
up
and down in the beginning.
yeah,
Yes,
along the
yes.
way, along the way.
Absolutely, yes. I
I
find myself just kind of started out with a very broad idea of what I was doing. And
Yeah,
each month by month, it got more and more focused until now I know exactly what I want. And now I can go in the opposite direction and broaden to reach a wider audience.
I love it. That's awesome. Great stuff. And when you think about your work, I know that you've got a number of people on staff as well that support your work and you're expanding. So, can you talk a little bit about the different facets of your business and because I think it sounds to me like it was just you in the beginning,
Yes.
right? And then your team is such an important part of your
Yes.
legacy, of your energy, of your business. Can you talk about your team and why you brought certain people on and why you decided to bring them on at certain times?
Absolutely. That is a wonderful question. So, the whole premise of Premier Wellness is eat, move, live, love. Eat
Mm,
elite, move more, live wisely, and love divinely.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I knew, in the beginning, because in the beginning it's you, I did everything. So I was working with, and nutrition definitely I can do, and stress levels and hormones definitely I can do. But
Mhm.
having people as far as movement, that wasn't my strong point, nor was the loving divinely, the spiritual aspect that I wanted to bring into it.
Mhm.
And so that's what I did. I looked for people who were strong in those aspects as well. So we hired David Allen, who is our certified personal trainer, and
Mm.
he actually has something that is called. Goodness, just flew out of my head.
It's okay.
He's gonna get me with that one.
Oh wait, I'll take this part out. I'll edit it
No.
out.
It's called Snacks Life. And how I could forget, because it's short, nuanced, actionable exercises. So, short exercises that people who are at work can do while they're working so that they're not sitting at the desk all day long. Then we
Awesome.
have Dr. Margaret Brunson, who is our life and professional coach, and he brings the not only the leadership and mindset, but also the emotional aspect to how you get healthier, because
Mm.
that's just as important. And our last one is Jen Birchfield, and she is our health coach, is also very well trained in yoga, so she brings that movement in as well and helps
Nice.
people actually learn how to incorporate what they're learning academically into their lives.
Awesome. So, kind of a well-rounded, holistic, again, this word keeps coming up, but
Mhm.
this holistic approach to people's wellness. And it sounds amazing. It just sounds like a fabulous service that you provide. And do you do it where you have live classes? Do you put a report together and you send it to people, then they have access to your online videos? Like, how do they gain access to your amazing content and all deliverables?
All of the above.
Okay,
So,
great, great, great.
so it starts out with their, as I said, mentioned, we look at their health history, we look at their labs and everything, and then I will put together a report. We either do that in person now again, or we can do it on Zoom or some kind of video channel to do that. Each week we have classes. We have group classes every week, because it's not so important. Well, it is important to learn on your own, but it's also important to learn from others, to see
Yes.
what they're going through and what they're struggling with. And that just brings so much more motivation and gives you the knowledge that you're not in this alone.
Yeah.
You are not the only one who's
Mm.
struggling with the cookies at 2 p.m.
Yeah,
That's,
right, right. A
the
little bit of
kind
accountability there too, right? I didn't eat the
exactly.
Oreos this week. Right, right.
So we have classes every week where we're learning a topic and then we discuss things. And then we do, as I mentioned, we're doing retreats. We have a retreat coming up in October, a live retreat. I'm so excited about that. We're going to be back in person again,
That's awesome.
and then we do seminars and workshops. So it's
Yeah,
really a mixture of all of these things. Oh, and we have classes online as well,
awesome.
classes and videos online.
That's great. And is it like a
Mhm.
subscription model, or is it more, this is your package and this is what your package includes?
We have both now.
There you
And initially, it was a package that was all inclusive, all of the all of the coaches meeting with me, all of your testing. And then, as we all know, 2020 hit, and I really wanted this health information to get to as many people as possible.
Yeah,
So we opened up a membership site as well. And so
awesome.
you just join monthly, you come to all of the classes, and it's more a la carte. You kind of
Yeah,
pick and choose what you need as you need it.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
And what is, now that you've been working with people, what has been the greatest benefit that you've seen to your clients? Or I guess I have two questions. What has been the greatest benefit that you've seen to your clients? But then also, what's been the biggest surprise that you weren't
Hmm.
anticipating that happened?
Hmm. Okay, I have to say the biggest benefit is when I see people not only just getting themselves healthier and understanding when that light clicks on in their head,
Yeah,
oh, when I do this, this happens. But
yeah,
if I do this, this happens.
yeah, yeah.
That kind of light, that's wonderful. But then when they go and take that to others, when they come back and they say, you know, I went to dinner or I went to something, and the people around me are starting to eat like I do because they see how good I look and how good I feel.
That's awesome.
And that's the most exciting thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that ripple effect, right?
Yes,
Kind of
that's
like,
exactly what I say.
yeah,
Having a ripple
absolutely.
effect. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so how can people get in touch with you? You mentioned you have your seminars, right? And you have a dinner seminar next week in Raleigh, right?
Yes,
You want to
yes,
talk
we
a little
do.
bit about that?
Sure, sure. We are so excited to be back live again. We've been doing dinner seminars, and then, of course, we know COVID hit,
Yeah,
and so everything stopped. But we're doing them very small, very curated. And next Tuesday at 7 p.m. at Brio Tuscan Grill or Italian Grill, we're doing a seminar on how to finally master your energy, weight, and hormones.
I love
And
it.
we're just going to kind of go over all of those things. So,
That's great.
yeah, and if people are interested, they can go to our website and they can register there, or they can actually call our number, which is 919-925-5910. And David, he will also get you registered for that.
Yeah. And what were those last four digits again? 919-925.
5910.
5910. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to just add that number on there for
Ah, thank
people
you.
to see as well. Absolutely. Um, and and so and if the people want to contact you on LinkedIn, they can also follow this link and connect with you there as well.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Ah,
This was a pleasure to have you. I'm so just impressed by the work that you do, and I think that you provide so much value and support for people who really struggle and feel like they don't have the answers because traditional medicine does not support them in the way that they need to be supported. I'm also very just I'm just impressed by your journey of becoming a professional knowing at 6 you wanted to be a doctor, but deciding to be an amazingly wonderful professional dancer for 17 years. And I've seen that if you go to Dr. Lovell's website, you will see the pictures, and they're just completely impressive. Um, and then to really follow your dream and to follow your passion and to take what you learned via dancing and which is so interesting, right? Because you wouldn't think that someone would be a dancer and then bring what you learned from that, the mentality of that, the mindset of that, and how people operate on a day-to-day basis, and bring that experience into the work that you do now, and you were able to pivot and create the successful business. So I just thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
oh, thank you so much, Denise. This
Yeah,
is wonderful. I had
yeah.
a blast. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's a great time,
Thank you.
and I hope to connect with you again. If people want to hear more of podcasts like this, go to gameplanu.org and you can click on the links there. If you want to get in touch with me directly, you can contact me at denise@gameplanu.org. And otherwise, I wish you all well. We'll see you next time. Click that like button, click that subscribe button. It helps us know that we're doing the right thing and reaching the right people. And again, Dr. Lovell, thank you so much. I wish you much success in your career as you move forward. And I hope to be in your area someday to attend one of your seminars.
Same here. Thank you
All
so
right.
much,
You're
Denise.
welcome. Take care. Bye,
Bye bye.
everybody.
Bye bye.